Welcome back to another video. We will be looking at NVIDIA and if we have possibly seen the top of NVIDIA and where it can be headed to now, since we have seen this sell-off that's been happening in the past few days. So we can see that we had this trend line drawn out for the past in the past weeks. We saw that there was a break of this trend line, but what happened? It was a false breakout, and now we could see that the false breakout is playing out, and now it's heading towards a down direction. What does that mean? Whenever we get a false breakout, we have a lot of more momentum towards the area where it's heading towards. In this case, it would be back into the channel, right? We've got this false breakout here. We're heading down, and we see that respected these channels that we have drawn out. We see that over here respected really nice. Even here, we saw that it tried to break it and establish itself over the channel, but it could not. And then what happened after this false breakout? We saw a major a following a red week, right? And same thing here. If we cannot break over the channel, we saw a red week, and it just continued to go and continue to go. And this is the same thing, same price action we are seeing now. And even this price action is similar to what we saw in Bitcoin, what happened in the past couple days, and why it started going down. If I show you guys the charts for Bitcoin, this is exactly what happened with Bitcoin in the past few days. We saw that it tried to break over the channels. It tried to break over. We saw major wickoffs. And then once we saw the false breakout, we can see what happened. If it lost a total of $5,000, it went from around 65,000 to under $60,000 within 2 days. And we are seeing that now play out with NVIDIA. And let me go back to the chart of NVIDIA. Okay, here we are. So this is what we can see that's been playing out for NVIDIA. So we can see based on that, right now NVIDIA is on major support. We can see that there's a is served as support here, support, and served as resistance, and it's at the same level now. So we have to see. We can see in post market, it's over the midway point of this channel. We can probably see NVIDIA begin to wedge into this triangle that we have drawn out over here between this trend line and the midway point. So we could see it wedge out through here and possibly get a breakout to the upside, or we could come get a retest of around this area and continue the downtrend. If it does respect it, we would have to wait to enter a trade either if we get here, because we see there's resistance here, resistance here as well, and this is another zone. If we were to draw another channel, that's exactly where the midway point would be. And now we can see that we are in a downtrend for NVIDIA. This just confirmed it. We can see a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and we could possibly see the lower low forming over here. So it is a really great chance that we have finally seen the top of NVIDIA, and we will not be seeing it creating another all-time high. And we can see that it has been, and that's the reason why the stock market, especially the Nasdaq, was down yesterday, but it instantly went back up, and now it's going back down. So I could make, I will be looking at that chart as well. But for the meantime, that's what I wanted to point out on NVIDIA. It's really bearish. It's looking bearish. We see this similar price action what happened with Bitcoin. Same price action happened with the Nasdaq, and we can see maybe it could open up lower, open up higher, but in lower time frames we will be looking at the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and where we can see headed. Maybe we could see it heading to test this area of the 108. If it breaks it, we could see it head even more lower, possibly into the 90s, and to create the lower low. And obviously here would be a really big it's a really big price, really important price where NVIDIA would be. So we just have to wait. If we looked on the weekly channel as well, I wanted to show you guys for NVIDIA. If the week ends up closing here, if tomorrow is not a bull day and it ends up as an engulfing on the weekly, I wanted to show you guys what happens after every time we get an engulfing. We got an engulfing here, and if it was followed by 3 weeks, or you could say 2 weeks and a half of bearish momentum, and we could see that the open here was a lot lower. And it was started because of a bearish engulfing candle. If we look over here to other times it has happened, Every time we see an engulfing, we can see here an engulfing on the weekly. It was followed by another 2 weeks. We can see here it was followed by another. It was followed by more bearish momentum. So for the meantime, Nvidia is looking bearish, possibly for the following weeks, and depending on price action, depending on technical analysis, because technical analysis follows fundamental analysis. They are hand in hand. Whatever fundamental analysis is happening in the real world is happening right in the charts. So this is what we see on the 1 hour. We see an actual break, probably a break. If we go on lower time frames, this could be a retest for more downwards action. But for the meantime, we could hope for a retest of this area to enter nice sales. But at the same time, we could see this area being respected, and as long as this area is respected and not broken, Nvidia could still go up. But for the meantime, we are in a downtrend if we look on higher time frames. So we should begin to change our bias to bearish. And that's what I wanted to show you guys on NVIDIA. If you guys have any questions, any comments, any other stocks or indexes that you guys would want me to go over and give my opinion on, leave them down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, to this channel. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.